Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Sorry for the delay. There was a bit of a hitch at the start of the show. Technical problems I seem to have had during the stream. It forced me to cancel the stream, restart the stream, and go in and fix a lot of settings on my PC. Yeah, sometimes updates they have a way of messing you up. In this case, it was it was just an update, and suddenly all my settings were gone for my streams, and I had to like fix it. Didn't take too long. I mean, it wasn't that difficult to fix. Yeah, but then again, I guess that's how big this challenge is. The low block challenge. Things just things just started becoming difficult. As low block challenges go, they can be very challenging, man. Hey, Intani, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I know some people were on the stream earlier and the stream stopped. I do apologize. I really do. But hey, man, there's little you can do when the machine decides, we're not gonna work for you today. Hope you guys are well. Yes, we're gonna do the low block challenge. Now the thing is this. I get a lot of questions. And a lot of people talking about how impossible the low block is. Now, I know you guys remember a couple of years back, I think it was in 2021. I think 21. Yeah. If you go, it's July of 21. I remember I asked Nick Madden on for a show. It was those days I used to have a talk show called FM Focus, where me, Tony Jameson, we hosted a show where we invited people to chat with us. And this particular case, Nick Madden came along. It was a short-lived show because I had somebody else on before that. And yeah, I called the show. I mean, I want to return to something like this, but the issue with these kind of talk shows is timing. I live in Asia. It's easier if you do a talk show when two guys are in the same, close to each other's time zone. When you have two guys on opposite ends of the world, it can be quite difficult, especially if my best times are not his best times. So becomes quite difficult. But on that show, Football for FM Focus, we had Nick Madden, the former Match Engine lead. And then we went on to become senior producer. The goal was that he spoke about creating tactics and pressing in general. Like, most people, they seem to think that the trigger pressing intensity is trigger pressing intensity means just, outright closing down maximum, which to some extent it affects the whole team. Yes, it does tell the team to react more to press an opponent. But the thing is this, players will press regardless of that instruction. Okay, try pushing the slider over to the minimum and players will still press. It just means that something else is at play. Here in the game of Football Manager, if a player enters your zone, he's going to tackle you. Now, trigger pressing just tells the player if he makes a mistake, there's one of those triggers present, then we want to get on top of him. And if you max out your trigger pressing, what will generally happen is more players are going to react to that mistake. So you might find 2 or 3 players coming really close. And then that is enhanced if your defensive line is really high and your block is really low, and then you set it to maximum, and you might find that space opens up very easily. So these are things that some people may not see in the game. In fact, I don't blame people if they're confused, because the game is intentionally vague because it wants to make it a journey that you experience and you're finding out these kind of things. So I know that it can be tough for people, right? So I know that if you go into the game and you're playing it the first time, you're going, hey, you know what? How does this work? Yeah, and people disagree with me. That's fine. I mean, I'm not claiming, like today on the forum, somebody is hell bent on proving that the PRD, position, role, duty, familiarity, is about how well that a player takes time to master a role. Right. My point was training him in the role, just, yes, it improves his attributes, which make it better for him to play in that role. But it doesn't mean that after a season he can play. Okay, if a player's attributes are not good enough, you won't get him maxing out his PRD, okay, because his attributes are not good enough yet. to play the deep line playmaker role, for example. Maybe his passing is still 10. And then you're thinking that, the longer he plays, he might get better in the role, and that PRD, which is, that little bar that you get, will improve. Position will always improve and duty will always improve. But SI wants, sometimes SI don't improve. The issue here we have is, I'm going to say something that's going to get me into a lot of trouble with SI. Okay. There are 2 forums on SI. One is where everybody goes, and the other one is by invitation only. Okay. That second by invitation only forum is where some of these kind of nuggets of information get released. And therein lies the first problem. Not everybody is aware because not everybody has access to those forums. So I happen to be on that forum, on both of them. So sometimes we have discussions where they actually take time out to explain certain features. Now, it is challenging, I know, but is how the forums have transformed over the last few years. For a long time, people were okay in the old days. Developers used to come onto the forums, they used to chat with everybody, and it was a very, very happy family. Then last few years, things tend to get a bit toxic. People tend to get a bit more impatient, and people start saying all kinds of mean things on the forums, or even on Reddit, or on outside the forums. I've had death threats, man. I've had racist comments made to me. I've had death threats made. People would, once somebody said something like, if I ever see you around, I'm going to kill you. That kind of thing. It was like a shock to me, because I was like, what the hell, man? Just because we disagree on a point, and now you want to be so violent and threatening. So the same thing extended to some of the developers, right? Some of them were pretty bad, and not on the forums itself, but outside the forums. So because of that kind of atmosphere, right, the developers don't come onto the so-called everybody gets onto their side of the forum. They won't. Why would they want to participate if all they're going to get is hate mail or hate messages, or you have to answer this because people want the answer now. So then we have the, because then SI, so I think that's their strategy. But I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I want to, because I think somebody has to eventually, and if I get into trouble, so be it. If I kicked off that, then so be it. But I think it needs to be said. So on those forums, the special forums, they actually take the time out to explain the features of the game to people, and then I think that's how they hope they eventually gets transmitted out into the general public. But here again, they're not going to just jump into public forums because somebody say, you know what, they have said this before on the forums, but how can you tell them, this is not, somewhere where people want proof and that, and it goes there. So if we go into the game right now, and I'm going to show this thing to you right now. Okay, so if you go into the game right now and you go to, like, say, Danny Ings, for example, you go to training and you come here, you see his PRD is quite shite, right? Okay, look at that. Striker, advanced forward, attack duty. Okay, now if all this is maxed, right? Okay, which will happen over time, then this will shift up slightly because there's familiarity, right, with the what he's expected to do. But this is position, role, and duty familiarity, and this is your tactical familiarity. There are two things here. This refers to tactical familiarity, but mentality, passing style, creative freedom. And if you're not sure, you just come inside here. You go to tactics, right? You can actually set it. You see this here? This is called tactical familiarity. So this will not be maximum until the team plays enough matches together. You're playing the same tactic. So if you're coming back in here again and you come to his training again, you notice that all this. So what happens if you train with advanced forward the whole way? Does this mean that he is going to eventually he's going to be completely, the whole bar is going to be full because he's been playing the role long enough, he's improved already, therefore blah blah blah, this should be full? No, it doesn't work that way, because position and duty are two things that they can learn really quickly. But role is about suitability. How good is he at that role? And that's a function of his attributes. So unless these attributes all hit like maybe 14, then he will never be completely maximal, because then he'll reach some point where he's not going to be good enough. So if he were to change his role to something else, like, maybe if you can tell from here, you just come in down here and go to the striker, change his role to something else, like maybe F9, okay? Support. You'll notice this bar might be a lot lower, and then if you change it to maybe target forward on attack, he doesn't have the attributes to be a target forward. Does this mean that he's not familiar with the role? No, he's just not good enough as that. In that because he already knows that position, right? He already knows the duty, but his attributes are so bad that he can't get there. So target for an attack. Then we come in here, we just change this to poacher on attack. Now notice he's slightly better, all right, because he might have some of the attributes, but naturally he needs to be playing, that he does need to play the role to improve some of these attributes. But here, you see all this tactical familiarity is costing him. This whole thing will go up in time because all these other bars will go up. So we're going to play a couple of matches to see how this goes on. Hey, Whiplash, thanks for the tier 3, 24 months, man. How are you doing? Oh, anyway, let's just cut to the chase. Let's not talk about this anymore. We're going to do a low block. So I've been playing low block and I've decided, you know what, who we're going to do a low block with? I decided to take a mid-level team. Now, I've always said this. If you play a low block, if your defenders cannot do a low block, you are in trouble, right? Because you can't deal with crosses. I mean, naturally, they're going to be coming at you. But this is the interesting thing. Now, I have told you guys to go to the manual. Now, the manual there is information in the manual. I'm not suggesting the manual is the be-all and the end-all. Because, there are, people write the manual, people are human. So sometimes they might make a mistake here and there. So, like for example, you see fluidity is in the manual when it shouldn't be. Okay, so let's see, we go down to defensive line, right? This is what we'll play. How much if I play an unfamiliar role? Is position is more important. The difference between a box to box and attack isn't marked as the difference between center defense and center. Because why? It's position, right? If he drops an attributes his role is not suited to, then it's a problem. Okay. So there are key attributes for a player, and this is what's more important. So you can play a player in what is called an unfamiliar role, meaning he has never played the role. But to be honest, it is the position that's unfamiliar. Yeah, a player is going to make a bit more mistakes with the position. This one, I think I'm going to talk to SI about correcting this, because it's definitely a bit misleading. Oh yeah, I can ask them to correct stuff in the manual. Okay. Defensive line. I did ask them to correct this in the manual. Yeah. I did complain to SI, your defensive line is misleading. And SI actually corrected it because I said it's misleading. Okay, look at this. So now remember this, right? You want to play a low block, right? This is your block, right? But you see this part, line of engagement and the low block, the defensive line and the line of engagement creates what we call vertical compactness. Okay. And then your defensive line will tell you when the opposition have the ball in their own half and when the team has possession themselves. So that means if I were to play a low block, I can play in two ways. One, I can play the low block with a low defensive line, which literally tells my team, don't bother attacking. Sit back and hope and pray. Hey, because we ain't going too high up the pitch. That's a low block on a hope and a prayer. Okay. Then you can have a low block with a much higher defensive line, which tells your players, we're going to do a low block. I want all of you to drop really deep, but not in front of the goal. I want you to drop at the edge of the third. That could be a low block with a much higher defensive line, which basically tells your team, we're going to be in a low block, but very compact, but not in front of our goal, but slightly higher. So then the trick really becomes when you set up a low block like that is your pressing intensity. Remember I said about pressing intensity, if your trigger pressing is very high, everybody's very close to it, because vertical compactness of your zone is, if you come inside here, this is a vertical compactness. See how close they are right now? If I set this to maximum, there's a possibility more than one player is going to go for the ball, right? And I get into trouble. So what I've also done is I've set up in my low block, defensive line, I'm going to set up step up more, which means that we're playing the offside trap in the low block, which makes my block mobile. So if the ball comes over the top, we're going to try and catch it offside. So we're making the space even tighter, that they can play it in, because we'll try and catch it offside when we can. The danger of this kind of low blocks is, if you play these kind of really compact low blocks, direct passing is not your friend. Because if they play a direct pass into the space, you're exposed. So it's a risk that I'm taking with my tactic. Okay? It's a big risk that I'm taking. Hey, 1-6! Thank you for the support, man. Tier 1, 84 months he's been here, man. 84 months. That guy's a legend. He's a legend. Whiplash, when are you? How's the summer holidays going? The summer holidays. Damn. No, I'm thinking of doing something with the kids. It's a bit of a surprise, but it's quite an investment for me for the kids. But I think that if I do this right, then the boys and I are gonna have a lot of days when we can do sports together. Yeah, it's a plan. It's gonna take me a few days to activate. So anyway, we're coming back to this low block. So I've used this low block, and I use this low block here in all these matches. I played a 4-3-1 low block. I've played a 4-4-2 DM low block. Also tried a 4-4-2 flat. So this is the 4-4-2 DM low block that I played against Aston Villa. Now, I've set it up. It's not that bad. I'm not suggesting that the low block is like the perfect solution to everything. But the problem with the low block is, low blocks can be extremely challenging. Yeah, they're extremely challenging because they're stressful. So you can see our team after kickoff, right? Look at that, where they go. They go drop, drop, drop. This is my defensive line, right? Look at where we go. So we're dropping again. So the players aren't really running after the ball. We don't have the ball. See? He has the ball. He reacted and he turned. Placed the ball in that position. Bump, read the play. And then we try to turn it around and move it up the pitch. Okay, so here the keeper as well. I'm not doing prevent shot goalkeeper. I'll get to the pressing triggers. There's advanced pressing triggers as well for this. Okay, so we go up. And again, you see, he doesn't chase after him. He's more focused about getting into this position to deny that pass to him. If I had played it on maximum trigger press, this guy would have gone for Douglas Luiz. Okay. By this point in time, Douglas Luiz actually had hard tackling set to him. So that was my mistake. So I drew a few players to him. It opened up and they scored a goal. At that point in time, right, I realized I had an opposition instruction for hard tackling on Douglas Luiz. I immediately removed it. So now, playing the game, again, now we have the ball. Now this is our possession. Look at our defensive line, right? So this guy, they're going to support play in midfield. Look at how close they are to the attack. This is fullback. This is a winger on attack. If I play on a low defensive line, chances are he ain't going to get the ball to him. He's going to be somewhere here. He might look for a pass back to this guy. They might try a long pass. So there we go. Again, here, that's because he's out of position, so he had to go in. Right? So he goes in, but they're all disciplined. They go back straight to their positions again. Again, here, the guy runs. We got this guy. No, but very few players, he's not reacting to this guy. Only he is reacting to this guy with him, which is what I want. I don't want the center to be opened up. Right, so they're forcing them into crossing the ball. Again, not too many players are reacting to pressing, right? So because we want to be as compact as possible, but we don't want to be silly in giving up the space. Again, here, look at how high up the pitch we are. Players are still in their half. And then we go, and then we're looking. You can see how high up the pitch the boys are. Right, so defensive line. If I play a low defensive line, I might have a problem, right? I'm not playing a low defensive line. Again, now, if you look at this, if you look at 2D, maybe we should watch this in 2D. Okay, so now we're watching it in 2D. Look at how we are set up, right? I don't want these guys to be moving too much. There we go. This is what I want. I just want these players, because the trigger press is, and we are playing a low block. So you can see we have all dropped behind the ball. That's the goal of a low block. You want everybody to be behind the ball. So it goes up now. He comes in to support. And then that's it. We cover the spaces again. The goal of this low block is very simple. The gap between these two should be as shallow as possible. So it means that these players, they have to try risky passes, like a long, they have to try the through ball behind. If it's a really good team, I might be in trouble. I might want to drop that defensive line a bit more, because then I just want to increase the gap between this and this. So right now, I have literally a non-existent gap. There's no gap. And plus, I'm playing offside trap, right? So maybe against Man City, I'll play differently. So here we go again. So the whole goal here is for me to make sure that we keep our positions as much as possible. As you can see here again, finding space is a premium. Again, if you play low blocks, you're going to have to defend against a cross. So I always believe, and this is one time I did not have invite crosses on. Okay? Because I know that we're going to deal with the cross. I don't want to make it even easier for the opposition to drop the cross. I realized very quickly that if my team isn't that good in the air, why do I want to invite crosses? Because it makes us even more narrower. So I just want to make it harder, but I don't want to make it too easy for them to get to cross. Again, you see, this is nice. I don't want, I want them to try passing like that and trying to get inside. But the goal here is for me to make sure that their game is shunted to the flanks as far as possible. So we kept this disciplined shape for a really long time. So I'm not going to dwell on that too long. That was just the context. So we've got two low block tactics, right? So one I've got is I've got this target forward, advanced forward, winger, close down more, mark tighter. I might take this down. Okay. I'm gonna remove this, and remove this. I'm gonna remove all this. Okay. I'm gonna remove mark tighter, which shouldn't be here. This is a mistake. Okay, and remove this. Okay, now coming to this tactic again, I'm gonna remove this, and I'll remove this, because these are all mistakes. Huh? I forgot to take them out. I don't want to play with any PIs. I don't mind if these two have PIs, but let's just leave this alone for now. Okay, and they come inside here, no more mark tighter, because this is not my friend at the moment. Mark tighter could get me into a lot of trouble. So I'm going to remove all the PIs. Okay. Crossing is just a heightened pass into the box from anywhere on the field, or does it have to be from out wide? In that case, how wide, using whatever as a carry so it ends up in the cross area. Crossing, Carrello will still cross, but they normally tend to do crosses. If you want a Carrello to do a cross, then you have to play early crosses. Yeah. And they will cross from this side, the edge of the final third. And if you want them to just do, if you want them to cross from earlier positions, then in general we'll be playing mixed crosses as far as possible and hit early crosses. But I would avoid whip, floated, and low. Don't play low, because low will encourage them to get to the byline. Okay, so we've got this. So we are playing our next match we are playing Wolves, right, in this game. All right, so we played Aston Villa. We played reasonably well. Okay, but now I'm going to go to my opposition instructions. I want to make sure that I already removed it. So the question is, what tactic am I going to use against them? I can play deep like this, right? And then do build up. What we will do is, Bowen tends to come inside. I noticed that, right? So we're going to play a poacher here, a target forward here on support, and put this like that. So because Bowen is left prefers, he's got a very strong left foot. So what he tends to do, he's got this dribbling, crossing. His first touch is pretty good. Yeah, so he likes to, is off the ball, he runs and cuts inside from the right wing. So there's a strong possibility he's going to go this way. So if he's going to go this way, I'll play Antonio here, so he can lay it off. So the idea behind the thing about me and keeping the ball, I like to keep the ball. Okay, all right, I'm not going to be giving it up. So we're going to play with a much higher defensive line, low block from the start. So the goal here is for me to play low block. I'm going to save this because I just created I just made the tweaks. Okay, and I don't want the game to crash. Okay, so we got Ings. I'm not going to play Ings. I'm going to play Kudus. Okay, we got Bowen, Cornet, Susek, Sean Watt, Prowse. I'll play it the other way, right? Okay, Sean Watt, Prowse, Susek. Okay, let's go. I wonder if I play Paqueta. Paqueta on the flanks might not be a bad move. Cornet is a bit faster, right? I don't know West Ham very well, trust me. Okay, I have no clue this West Ham team. I just play him. I'm not a Hammer, no. Just because I went to the Hammer Stadium doesn't make me a West Ham fan. Okay, all right. Just so happens that I was in the neighborhood. I tend to end up at the Emirates, White Hart Lane, or the Hammer Stadiums, because that's about the only place I can go to in London. All right, here we go. Kicking off. So the goal here is for me to maintain a decent block. Wait, before I go any further, I want to make sure that okay, this is fine. Okay, I don't want to be... Okay, the other thing about these kind of low blocks, right? I have to pay attention to my passing. Because, okay, if my players can't find a pass, I'm in trouble, even though they're wingers on attack. So we might want to keep it now. That's it. Okay, I'm dropping this to very narrow now. I don't think I'm going to go that high up because I just saw the pass was short. So we're going to try and... Hey, thanks for the follow, brother. Okay, so far so good. Kunya, we're going to be defending all the way. So there will be, I won't say defending all the way, but there will be a large amount of defending going. Oh, what about the Kudus? Come on, Kudus get inside. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of this, like, let's hope and pray kind of football. There's a part of me that wants to go to the flat 4-4-2 because it's higher. It might put more pressure on the opposition. But we'll start like this and see how it goes. Okay, one thing I'm never going to advise people to do is play low block for 90 minutes. The only reason I'm doing this is to give you an idea on how to play a low block. Okay, I normally play the low block, right? When I've taken the lead, it's a major game. I might be leading 3-1 or 2-1, and I want to avoid injuries. And I tell myself, fine, they're going to come at me for the next couple of minutes. I'm just going to drop into a tight block and see out the game. But I don't play it like after I score a goal, like going to a low block. That's like almost suicidal. Sometimes I even do it at the start of games just to, try and see how well we can defend. Look, the ball is in our half all the time. Our heat map shows that they barely get out their own half. We're controlling the game in the center of the park, and we have 61% possession. And we are also doing advanced triggers. I'm playing a very advanced pressing style. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, as far as I'm concerned, these wing backs, right? I haven't done it to them yet, so we're gonna keep the wing back on the right flank, and we're gonna keep the other wing back on the left flank. Meaning, you ain't coming inside. Yeah, so Lamina, I'm going to remove him. All I'm going to do with Lamina is I'm going to leave him to... I'm probably going to hard tackle him. Because he looks like he's a volante. Okay, and we'll time mark this guy. Okay, so this is like a different style of pressing. Okay, so here what I've done is I've kept these guys on the flank. So all I want them to do is do crosses. And the two in the middle, what we're going to do to them is we're going to time out one guy and we're going to hard tackle the other guy. So every time Lamina gets the ball, we'll take him down. Because he is the player they have to link the ball to, right? So again, here, there we go. We're making it harder for them to find the ball or play the pass. Okay, that's good enough. How do we get your tactics? There's a downloads folder, but all these tactics I'm making on the fly right now. It's not that the tactic. It's never the tactic, guys. It's how you look. I mean, for me, it's more like I am an adapter. I see the game, I adapt. Yeah. Because a tactic in itself is useless. Yeah, because you guys have been on the stream and I made a tactic with 3 or 4 strikers, right? And then just for fun, we won the game. All right, not bad. We kept Wolves at bay. I'm not too bad. I'm not too worried yet. Okay. I want to try something different soon. So far, our first half has been quite good. Yeah, they can't get in. They can't get in. Our low block is... Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a slightly different low block. I'm going to shift up. Ding. This is stupid. Okay, so once again, Kudus will be the AF. This guy is a target forward. But this time he's a target forward on attack. So now I've gone high up the pitch. Step up. Much higher defense, we have a low block. Yeah, we play a low block. But now we moved high up the pitch. Hey, Kimpi, how are you, man? Thanks for the 25 months. I hope we do okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Defending. So far, they haven't had many chances, but now we'll see how. So this is going to be quite interesting. See what I mean? You see, our trigger pressing is what? 0, right? But players are still following the opposition. No? Yeah. Because they will press. Whether you like it or not, they're going to press. So, when people tell me this maximum pressing. I'm like, no, it isn't. I have to try and explain it, but not everybody sees it that way, I guess. Okay, Susek is on a yellow card. We're gonna take him off because I'm a coward. I'm a coward, no. I'm gonna take him off straight away, man. I'm a coward. I'm not willing to see one yellow card here. Okay, so far so good. Remember, the goal here is for me to play a low block, huh? But not to play so stupid as we're not gonna try and score goals. But we haven't done much, huh? We're defensively solid. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna drop back into this again. Okay. I don't mind this setup, but I'm gonna turn this guy into an advanced forward. So he can try and attack the space. Paqueta is not playing well. We're gonna take him off. Calvin Phillips, the only one I want to take a chance with. Okay, we dropped in a bit more. Drop. Nice work. Sean Ward-Prowse. Alvarez with the ball. Finds Mavropanos. He's an NCB. What a pass! He's onside. He is onside. Come on, he's gotta be, man. Yeah! What a goal! What a goal! We dropped deep. NCB. One of my favorite roles of all time. Yeah. Oh, you beauty. Okay, we're back in our low block now. We are not. Okay. They done this, right? So this is basically trying to get through here, which is fine by me. Let them do it. Okay. So we got on the right flank now. I don't have a right winger to bring on. Okay, never mind. We don't have a right winger to bring on. Bowen is tired. But he's not playing well. But we made a... Oh, here we go. Defending a set piece. Hey, SI, thank you very much. Yeah, my boy did well. Areola. Okay, we defended well. We tried to push forward for a short while, but then I decided, then it was not good enough. Okay, this is dangerous now because they bypass my entire press, which is fine. Okay, all right. See, we're quite high up the pitch now. I'm not dropping the defensive line. This is a low block, huh? Just with a much higher defensive line because I don't want it to be right in front of goal. I want it to be on the edge of my defensive third. Good. It's too slow. Alvarez did brilliantly. Okay, all right. Come on. So the idea here is, why do I play a much higher defense so that I get support when I'm on the counter? Okay, now I want to change after this. Okay. All right, I want to change. Now I'm telling my team, hey, don't bother. Don't bother. Okay, low. That's standard defense. Okay, no more step up more. Don't bother going up. Okay. So we're going to see out the next 10 minutes. Yeah, we stole a goal, but now we're going to try and defend. Yeah, we defended. All right. Okay. Okay, maybe on this side, do we have a Ben Johnson or whoever the hell you are? You got a name like that, you better be a fast player. Okay, so he goes winger on support. Because he cannot run anymore, right? So Cresswell. Nice. Oh, that was it. Idea was there, but Cornet read that. Antonio with the ball. What can he do? He looks for options. He finds Kufal. Kufal down the line. And Bowen has got nothing on him anymore already. He can't even run. Okay. Low block. And standard. We drop our defensive line. So the fullbacks are now coming a bit deeper. Okay, nice work. Bowen back to Antonio. Antonio to Kudus. Almost a second goal. Okay, we are playing a low block against Wolves. Ward-Prowse. Kudus does well. That is good. I think we have a place for set pieces, right? Yeah. No. We gotta put this in. Because why not, right? You're playing a low block. You might as well leverage all set pieces. Oh, come on. No, 2-on-1. Just brilliant. Because they're not all running like mad chickens. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, no, no. Come on, nibbling at the... Okay. We left them to, dropping crosses, which was our goal. We want shunted them wide where they do less damage. They have to they have to deliver crosses. The low block challenge, baby. Ah, you sweet thing, you ran right through. No space. Guys, the very first game we played low block. Look, 2 shots on target, 4 in total, 0.37. We played really well, but this is the hallmark of a low block. Wolves, how many shots do they have with high quality? They have 0.49. It's only good chance that a keeper pull off a fantastic save, right? 0.02, 0.04. No, we had a 0.08, 0.01, and 0.27. We had a Kudus had a really good chance. So at least, okay. So we're looking at stats. Clear-cut chances. They have 1 clear-cut chance that they failed to convert. The pressure, man. The pressure was too much for them. 0.3 xg. I don't mind it. 0.3 xg. Sure. So we didn't give them too many opportunities. That's the most important. But the thing is, I have to play low block all the way. So the thing is, I'm more comfortable with like a low block 442, low block 442. This is a flat. I also have one, which is a low block 4231, which is another one I'm going to try and do. But this one is going to be slightly different. Okay, so we got fullback here who's going to come up. So we're going to turn this guy into a winger on attack and this guy into an inside forward. So he'll be a winger on support. We'll do an underlap and a focus play here. So the ball actually gets built up a bit more on this side. And then pings to this side of the pitch. Very, very... Hey, look, I don't like this as a low block because they are never going to come and defend. These 4, they never get back in time. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like this as a low block. We can try it with this little caveat. And I won't even bother with training. Low XG with low block is actually high XG. Hey, I think I'm not unhappy, with this result. Because if you look at the XG, right, 1.02 for the opposition, 0.37 for us, and we had 2 shots on target. In my book, right, I kept them at bay. Which is the goal. The goal of a low block is not to be... If you want to be defensively sound in Football Manager, of course you can play a mid block or a high block and you can still be defensively solid, right? The idea here is we want to be sitting back. I'm not suggesting this is a strategy for 90 minutes. Okay, I want to be absolutely clear with everyone. Okay, this is not for 90 minutes. I'm only doing it for 90 minutes because only stupid people do this for 90 minutes and I'm being stupid intentionally. Okay, that's what I mean. You don't play a low block for 90 minutes. But you need to know how to play a low block when you need to in a game. Like, how do I sit back and just, defend for like 10 minutes? Like, you might be in a Champions League final. You got 10 minutes to go. How do you get into a low block? It's not about just changing mentality to defensive. That's the wrong way of playing it. So my goal is just to show you guys how I do it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to explain a bit more of the instructions, right? Okay. So if I wanted to play a low block like this, first up, I probably will play him I'm going to try him as a target. Okay, the reason why target forward is better is there is somebody for them to aim for. But if he doesn't have jumping reach and strength, then he can't hold out the ball for anybody, right? So then that becomes quite stupid. So we don't have that kind of a play in our hands. So what I've done is I'm going to try and create something now that is a bit more lopsided. I prefer this because as a low block, this is going to be much more funky. This is a bit more involved in the sense that we come back and we defend really deep. And then when we build up play, there's plenty of players who can bring the ball up. You know what I mean? That's why we got much higher defensive line. So more players are involved in the transition. So it's more like we are defending really deep. And when you go up the pitch, you go up as a group. Right? Same here. Here we are slightly further away. These guys are slightly further away. The same thing is happening again. right? We are defending really deep. And then when we build up play, we go high up the pitch. But here, this should be advanced or this should be target. Why this keep changing? I thought I changed it the last game as well. Okay, so here, target forward, advanced, because Bowen comes inside. Yeah, Bagaskara, how are you, man? So we got this low block, we got this low block. Now we're going to do the most ridiculous low block. In fact, I find this to be the harder. This is a crazy low block because, I mean, on paper, we should have 6, right? Okay, so let's go. Let's try. Small trying. I like him here. Okay, let's put Bowen here and then Kudus here. Then Paqueta is an inside forward. Not really. Maybe we'll just stretch the pitch with him as a winger. We get this guy to roam and move into channels. That way he'll just hop, ting, ting, ting. Now the problem with this setup, right, is prevent short goalkeeper distribution. They're already doing that, no? Meaning they are in such a good position to do it, but we're going to drop really deep. Maybe I'll just turn this guy into a pressing forward attack. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I decided already. Pressing forward. Because advanced forward, the reason why I don't want an advanced forward is he's a focal point of attacks. He might just see how much self-doubt I have. This way you know too much about roles and duties, right? You know the pressing forward help us defend, true. But then when we break away, he's going to be too close to the defenders. Advanced forward, he's going to just try and be on the other end. Okay, let's do advanced forward. Okay. All right, so we've got our players. We got Bona, Zuma. Again, here I'm going to play NCB. He's going to toom the ball straight down the line. We got Emerson, counter, regroup, low block. We got underlap working on the right. So these guys are going to be a bit more attacking on this side. Then we are definitely playing it very narrow. We're going to hit the early cross. We're not passing into space. I don't want to pass into space simply. We're not playing with Sean Watt-Prowse at the start. Will we win this game or lose this game? I hope I don't lose. The moment I see something wrong, I'm going to change. I want to win every game. Playing on low block. Okay. Which means you're watching this on comprehensive. I don't even know what the formation or opposition are playing. I better pay attention to this. Okay. Too easy. Who's this? Phillips. Good. Paqueta. Okay, that's not too bad. I like what I just saw. Okay, something I need to change. Underlap, more direct, dribble less, and transition, counter, distribute quickly. This is fine. Rows AP, DM. Take more. No, take fewer. Take more. There. This is the guy. Sweeper, keep on defense. Yes, I mean, yeah, the keeper came up, but I was hoping they just hoofs the ball. You say I look for the pass. Kudus. He's on his own. Oi! Owen was almost there, man. Sean Watt-Prowse. Oi! See how fast they try to get back. Yeah. Defended. They're all getting behind most of them getting behind the ball. All right, good. Something is missing in this equation. I know something is missing because I saw it and I'm trying to ask myself what I'm trying to remember in my head what it was. Set pieces. Yeah, mix defensive. The reason why I'm playing play out defense is I want to draw them and try and hit them behind the lines. I will play a low block. For me, play out defense is a bit of an attacking instruction. It's got nothing to do with possession. Oi. Oh yeah, that's what I check. Am I playing with the invite and step up more? No, not yet. Okay. We're not playing step up more. Luka Paqueta. It's a shot taken at goal. Johnson, Bowen can't get there, but Johnson, yeah, it's gonna hustle. Once again, it's a low block 4-2-3-1. Calvin Phillips, Zuma to Johnson. Nice ball to Kudus. Again, we're not looking at playing the offside trap, although there's a voice in my head that wants to do it. Yeah, I'm watching this game like a hawk. But the goal is to read the camera, Papa. That's tight, that's tight, that's tight. Okay, good. Okay, I am beginning to... I don't think I should play the offside trap. It's very, very scary, okay? Yeah. Very scary. Very scary, man. The good thing is everybody's dropping behind the ball. And you see, who's this? This Bowen going. So everyone is just standing there. They have to pass their way. Yeah. Nicely done. Okay, good. I like the defensive positioning we're taking up, which is not to... They're not making space easy. Kudus, Bowen. And you can see the fullbacks getting involved. Okay, all right. I only have one fullback playing. The other one is in IFB because I'm a coward when it comes to 4-2-3-1s. Red. Oh no, that's the defensive line. It's quite high, but I think the mentality. Our mentality is defensive. Yep. I mean, that's a bit low. Okay, let's go to cautious. Okay, that's a bit too low. That's I have a defensive mentality. That's super low for me, even for me. That means now I'm pushing my defensive line slightly higher. That means the player might be able to get to the ball. So we are playing defensive all the way just now. Defensive mentality with a low block. Our defensive line is very high. So there we go. Okay, then try. Oh, defended. Uh-oh. Blocked. Nice. Not too many people opening up space. That's the goal here, our low block. Our low block's goal is to make it difficult for them to find, goal scoring, get into goal scoring, good, easy goal scoring positions. But hey, man, we can't give away too many set pieces. So far, so good. Just now, we had only 2 shots on target, right? And we won the game. I don't like this. The set pieces is a reset. Johnson again. Yeah, not easy. Thanks for the follow, man. Buo Burns. I told you, right? Set pieces. Okay, we're going to change. I don't like this flow block as much as I like the others. Okay, so I'm going to switch to this now. Got Paqueta, Bowen, Alvarez, Sean Ward-Prowse. Phillips is... well, we'll have to play Phillips up top as a target forward, I guess. Because I'm not about to take him... I'll take another player off. We lost the... Oh, man. Not doing well. I don't like 4-2-3-1 as a low block. I have a Twitch too and a YouTube. My favorite low blocks are the 4-4-2, 4-2-4, and the 3-5-2. But when it comes to the 4-2-3-1, I'm like, I don't like it as a low block because they leave too many gaps. Yeah. Problem is once you concede goals, right, then it's an uphill battle. Yeah. Nice ball. So far, we won one game. I mean, that's. I lost the first game of the season. Yeah, that's the only game I've lost so far, playing a low block. 4-2-3-1s are just too tricky. Okay, let's come inside here. I'll put him here. Okay, then take the other guy, Michael Antonio. Okay. So we conceded a goal from a corner. But open play, few sides have been able to create very much against us. But we have to create our own chances. The problem is some of these teams, right, once they score a goal, they'll sit back. So I'm still have to play a low block. So I'm going to go down to attacking mentality, you know. Susek. Maxwell Cornet. Cresswell. Our mentality is opening us up. We are taking too many risks. So we consider a goal because now we shifted our mentality. So we're taking more risks in the build-up of play, and this affects everything else, including all this nonsense. You see that? He came out. Johnson came out too early. That cost us. So we lost to Nottingham Forest, man. I don't see us coming back. Disappointed. So it's our first defeat playing a low block. So I'm going to chuck the 4-2-3-1 aside. Now we're going to do a 3-5-2 low block. 3-5-1-2 low block. Yeah, it's going to be all kinds of different tactics. Yeah, we managed to get a goal, but a bit disappointed. The idea is to create all low block tactics only. Yeah. All right. We didn't play badly, okay, but we could have done better. Okay, so Inquest are surprising loss of Forest. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna come in here now. I'm chucking this as a low block. Okay, all right. So we got a 3. Put you here. Something like this. 3-5-2. Okay. So we're going to have a shadow striker, target forward, and advance forward. Target forward and support, advance forward. A wing back on support, a ball playing defender, or maybe we just play white center backs. Okay, white center backs. Double DMs. Yep. Okay, focus, no underlap. Okay. Counter, regroup, distribute to flanks. Again, much higher defensive line, low block, much more often. Okay, that's it. All right, we'll play on cautious. Okay, let's go. Wingback support, wingback support. Any PIs? No PIs. We'll give you one. Take fewer. Take more. Okay. All right, YCB. This guy will be a ball playing defender on cover. Rather. Right, sweeper keeper on support or defend. All right, that's it. No player. Here we'll play our defense again. All right, let's go. Tiki taka low block. I just stupid. No, I lost the Forest because I didn't listen to my head. My body was going, play a 4-2-3-1 low block. But I've always felt that a 4-2-3-1 low block is not good enough. Yeah, it got too many problems because the thing is top heavy. I'd rather play low blocks, bottom heavy, or neutral tactics. Like a neutral tactic would be A neutral tactic would be like a 4-4-2, right? But I have definitely tried many times a 4-2-3-1 low block. I'd rather go into a 4-4-4-4, like 4-4-1-1. We'll do that later, 4-4-1-1 low block. This is going to be a whole low block stream. Okay, we got Shadow Striker Antonio Bowen. Oh man, no lah. Come on, Danny Ings. Give him a chance to live life to be happy. You know, Obona, Mavropona, Zuma, Kufal, Alvarez. Okay, this looks like a team that's built for this kind of tactics, man. 4-2-4 low block. I did a 4-2-4. 4-2-4 low block, no point also. No point playing a 4-2-4 low block because you're not. Again, a low block, you have to have two basically solid banks of 4. Make it hard for the opposition to find space. But in a 4-2-4, you giving up the flanks already. So they are definitely coming down the flanks, whether you like it or not. So I have avoided 4-2-4. So top heavy tactics, I find they're not very good for low blocks. Normally it's a 4-4-2, 4-2-4, 4-4-2, 4-4-2 DM. 4-2-4 is okay, but there is one way of making the 4-2-4 work, which is when you play wingers on support. Let's see, we'll try. This cannot be an experiment where I get relegated. We got the whole goal is to play low block. But every low block will be like a much higher defensive line or high defensive line. So this is fine, right? We're shunting them wide. So every time they get the ball against Ipswich, you as a 3-4-1-2 formation on your a few years back. Yeah. A few years back. Correct. I did use a 3-4-1-2 like this as a low block system. The other low block I like with this is, a 3-4-2-1. That's a very good low block. Because not only is it a good low block, it's a very impossible, they have to come down the flanks, right? Here, I'm just punting, hoping that we can punt the ball. So far, like, the boys are not really creating many chances for themselves. We're going to go wing back attack. Wing back attack, whatever low block. What kind of nonsense is this, man? This is a nonsensical low block. Now I suddenly got 2 wing backs running up the pitch. They're going like, really? We're playing, they call this a low block. Look at the wing backs have ended up. Look at that. Look at that. They're waiting. They're like, boss, can we get the ball up? We're supporting play. We're supporting the attacks. Look at where these guys are. They're waiting to go. No? If I lose to them, I'll be... Can low block tactic smash? No. Cannot. You cannot do a smash style low block. Smash is when you are occupying all 5 channels in attack. Low block, you already so deep. What? Hey. The idea behind Smash tactical systems is that you have all 5, you're already occupying all 5 channels. Even, difficult to do that. Low block is the entire opposite of the Smash systems. Phillips looking for Kudus. Kudus has the ball now. Again, Ipswich are so happy. Yeah. This West Ham, they come here to play a low block. Yeah. They have no faith in themselves. Like that, what we'll do. Okay, because we want a low block, then what we'll do is these guys are gonna, one is a Regista, one is a DLP, double whammy. The double playmakers. Nice. Oh! Got a DLP and a Regista. One's holding his position, one hardly ever. Okay, let's see. They're forced to shoot, yeah. Every one of them, every one of their attempts is from range. Yeah, maybe Regista is a complete waste. Yeah, just DLP is enough. Yeah, we've been sitting back and letting the opposition come at us. Again, Antonio with the ball. Looks back. Kufal. Phillips. Ings. We lose the ball, we regroup. Not counter press. Yeah, we regroup instead of counter. We lost. We are getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup playing a low block. So this is not a very good one now. Hopefully we can score one from here. Then I can do a comeback in the second half. No, cannot. We lost. We tried. We tried. Carabao Cup knocked out by Ipswich. Okay, so coming back to this, what was the mistake here? This. Because when I was so high up the pitch, the boys just kept running backwards. So, and they're gonna come back super deep, right? So they're always out of position. Let's see if this works. I want to find the best. So far, the best one has been 4-4-2. Okay. In real life, they're almost relegated. Who? West Ham? Nah lah, West Ham. Oh no, we almost conceded. So far, they just keep trying to break me down, man. Oh, they scored a goal from a corner. This is getting painful. No? All the goals I concede, all set pieces. Okay. I change it to a 5-2-2-1, which is a bit better. Let's try double shadow strikers. Yeah, low block is supposed to be painful, but I yeah, they're all meant to be painful, but I hate losing all the time. So I am obsessed. But it doesn't help that I keep changing tactics, keep changing low block systems. The best one so far is a 4-4-2, but I'm trying to narrow down which are the optimum ones to use. I think this is one of the best. The 5-2-2 one is solid defensively. And then the other one, of course, is the what's the other one? The 4-4-2 and the 4-4-2 DM. Oh, you broke through. That's the one. This is better. Okay, so I am now almost certain that this is the one that we're gonna save. Low block 5. There we just scored. The low block 5-2-2-1. We just scored from a set piece. Okay, we're gonna take off Kufal. So we're gonna bring Sean Ward-Prowse on. Kufal for. Do we have a right? Ben Johnson or Susek for Edson, and then bring Aaron Cresswell on for Emerson. Yeah, this is better. Because they are forced into going to they don't have options down the flanks to give me the counter. Yeah, much better. This is so much more cleaner. I haven't tried the 4-4-1-1 yet. But I'm now I'm shortlisting my candidates for the best low block system. So far it's the 4-4-2. Both the 4-4-2s, right? The DM and the flat, and the flat and the one with DMs and this tactic. The 4-2-3-1 just got wiped. But we lost to we're about to lose to Sheffield United, which is something I don't like losing. Oh, this team doesn't want to lose either. Yeah. Oh, off the line. Off the line. Can we get a late drama here? Defended. Okay, much better. After we made the changes, it was a lot better. Yeah, it just looks a lot better after all the changes. Okay, all right. So far, right? Okay, so the 4-2-3-1 is out. The 5-2-2-1 and not the 5-2-1-2. Not this one. This is not very good. Low block 5-2-2. So this is the one. Okay, so we basically got these candidates. Okay. Now the next one I'm gonna do because every tactic is a low block. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this 4-4. And we're gonna make it like this 4-4-1-1. So this one will be like a shadow striker. This one will be a target forward on attack. Play a wing on support. Fullback. Okay, let's try this. Aston Villa beat Arsenal 3-1. What a day for them. Oh, we're playing Chelsea at home. Okay, so we're gonna play step up more. Against Chelsea, we'll play with a higher defensive line. But we're not going to play with a much higher defensive line. I don't want my fullbacks to be too high up the pitch. No. Here we go. Okay, let's do this. Okay, next one, low block. Okay. Okay, we know we are playing against a 4-2-3-1. Okay, so they are gonna have a bit of a problem playing into this. Positions, let's make sure that we're funneling play again. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to do. What do we got here? We got target for shadow striker. Got wing on support. Someone like Jared Bowen's gonna end up here, no? Yeah, so maybe what we'll do is get him to, just run past him once in a while. Because as Bowen comes here, this zone becomes quite interesting. But the problem is, it's a very risky thing to do. It's very risky thing to do. I think we might lose the ball there. So we have to pay attention to the transitions. Okay, here we go. Again, now we're watching our comprehensive highlights. So, you see that? Look at this, right? Who says my pressing is set to none, no? Look at him. You guys keep sounding Madueke, man. Left that whole area on the left open. See, he doesn't have any PIs. Opposition instructions haven't got anything on Madueke. Except for showing onto his right foot. He didn't get a chance, so he just followed him all over the place. There again, you see this guy? Emerson keeps leaving his position, man. That's because their zones are all overlapping. Again, they're defending well. It's not really a bug, lah. Because players will always tackle. They always press. That's the thing everyone doesn't seem to understand. If they come to the zone, they will press. It's defaulted into the game. It's not a bug, it's a design. Nice defending. Okay, there's a really low block. Look at that, man. Look at the amount of turf they had to cover. Wow. That was not bad. They defended very deep and they all went up the pitch together with the fullback leading the charge. The one that we just put on attack duty. Kufal went all the way up the pitch. As Bowen came inside, he went charging up the pitch. We're depending on Antonio to hold up the ball as a target forward. There we go, Emerson. Look at Emerson go. Emerson is just chasing after that play when see, only step up more. Higher defensive line. Trigger press set to 0. This is a reason why. Look at his attributes, aggression and work rate. That's it, no. And he just wants to chase down that player. He looked at the Madueke and he just saw blood, man. Phillips to Alvarez. Alvarez wins the ball back. Paqueta now with the ball. What can he do? Drills the ball. Gets a corner. I'm going to drop, hit early cross. So we're still carrying out our low block. Doing reasonably well against Chelsea. Chelsea haven't really created anything of note, but it's only 20 minutes. So. Emerson, Phillips, back to Emerson. Phillips goes far post. Again, we have the ball. Kufa, Kudus, back to Calvin Phillips. Looks to play the pass. That's good. Defended. Ogbona. Nice long ball to Antonio. Madueke in. Missing. Okay, I tell you what. We're not going to play Mr. Target for. He's not even going to hold on to the ball. So we're just going to send him off as an advance forward. Yeah. We're not going to wait. Remember, he's still a focal point of attacks, right? Yeah. So as a advance forward, he'll try and get behind the lines. Kudus now to Emerson. Oh! Whoa, he tried to dribble past the whole back line, man. Come on, you don't have to. Defended. Defend. Low block. Okay, nicely done. All right, Kudus goes in front. Antonio comes behind. Antonio's got a bit more muscle as a shadow striker. That's why I asked him to play behind. Kudus is a bit more playmaking shadow striker, so he can release passes. That's the only difference between the only way I'll play those two last. So it's option A, option B. Nice ball. Kudus went back, so Antonio linked up well with him. Bona Alvarez looks for Paqueta, can't get there. Look, nice defending. I mean, this is tension, no comprehensive highlights. You got to play extended. There's too much drama, man. Not bad. West Ham. We have not really given Chelsea many sights of a goal with the 4-4-1-1. We're playing a double DMs. Nice work from Emerson. Finds Antonio. Antonio looks for options. No. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of little boy inside me that says play pass into space, but it's too risky, too early. Oh. Kevin Phillips takes a shot. I think we have play for set pieces. Yeah, we have. Direct high tempo. We don't wait for the whole team to get up the pitch to support play. So both teams, 7 shots on goal, 2 shots on target. But the important thing here is the quality of shooting opportunity is not very high for the opposition. And Chelsea on paper, this is about London derby, man. Paqueta to Antonio. He looks for options, finds Alvarez. Alvarez looks, Paqueta almost got inside. The player I'm bringing on very soon is Sean Ward-Prowse for Alvarez. Susek for and Susek as well. In fact, I'll do it. I think I should do it now. Yeah, I should do it now. Okay, we're taking off. We bring in James Ward-Prowse and then we bring on Susek. 2 fresh legs. 2 minutes in. Emerson wins the ball back. Nicely done. th May. Can you try Oro's attack from middle to top and pass? No, not going to try that. There's too much space. I want to win games, no? Yeah, all on attack duty is too dangerous. I'm playing with a much higher defensive line. If I was playing a low defensive line, I'll do that. But because I'm playing a much higher defensive line, I expect fullbacks to come up the pitch. I'm thinking that would be too risky. That's the reason why I don't do it. Okay, we're playing a very fast pace. Okay, now the question is whether Paqueta should come off. I've got to play Danny Ings as the shadow striker now. This next change We're gonna leave it like that. Yeah. Come on. Good. Don't, no, 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 no. Defend, 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 defend. Bowen. Come on, Bowen. Bowen is losing a bit of discipline. So far, not too much space for the opposition, which is the goal of a low block. Or Sterling. Nah, I just want Mega on support. I'm playing Chelsea. I don't want both sides to go running on clear. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, it's not much of a chance. Cornet is not coming on. Pass into space. Like this. Keep the ball. This guy is going to go IFB. This guy is now going to go wing on attack. All right, make substitution. Last change. Ben Johnson, can you play on the right? Yeah, I've got no choice. You got to come in for Jared Bowen. Nope. Okay, that's it. I play somebody just different roles. My main server doesn't produce. He's backed up by fullback. I think you should. Depends how you want to play it. The fullback on support, because the wing on support and with the fullback on attack, then you got to play on a lower tempo so the fullback on attack gets behind the wing on support. If you're playing on high tempo, then you're just using them as a security on the right side. That wing on support won't create very much. Unless the wing on support is really good on the ball and he can dribble and he has cuts inside, then maybe he'll come inside and then play a pass into space. But then that depends on his attributes. Yeah, so I mean, we didn't play badly in this London derby. Susek, Danny Ings now finds Cornet. Bowen, oh my God! Right at the end, no, we waited for the last 10 minutes, brought in substitutions, and then went past into space. When the opposition are going to be tired. And we did it, man. Cornet, who was running like the wind, and Bowen also was born. So we have both sides attack duties. But we locked down this guy as an inverted fullback on defense so that he doesn't run forward. Woo! But West Ham beat Chelsea 1-0 with a low block again. We didn't see too much of the ball. We did not. Look at that, man. I was playing a low block defensively because I wanted to make sure that it was tough for the opposition to find space, which is the reason why I didn't unleash both players. Yeah. The other, I do agree that if you play this guy as a wing on attack, but then this guy cannot be, he probably play like this. Then he go wing on attack. And then this becomes a very nice counter-attacking system. But then you got to be very careful. Yeah. That is the way to do it. And it becomes a bit dangerous. But then you have to play pass into space. You cannot go from the start pass into space. So I wanted to hold on to the ball for a long time. Trying to wear the team down. They get tired. And then the last 10 minutes, I go into pass into space. Yeah, so if you're playing a winger on support on this side, chances are he's not going to do much. No? That's why I had these two there. They're not doing much. Most of the work is coming from the left flank for me. Do you intentionally pick a deep system? What, a bottom heavy system? Yes. So all we're doing now is playing low blocks. Yeah. So this is a low block 4-4-1-1. Yeah. So we low block 4-4-1-1. So we found that the low blocks are the best low blocks. 4-4-1-1. I mean, I won't say the 4-4-1 is the best. I only played one game, but the ones I find the most effective are the 4-4-2, the 4-4-1, 1, and the 5-2-2-2. 5-2-2-1. The low block doesn't really make those attacking duties come back. I mean, you could say, yeah, because of the low block, right? They all force back. Yeah, okay. I do agree. And then when we play with a much higher defensive line, yeah, but the only problem is I wouldn't want to play them all on attack from the very go and play pass into space. Then because hope and kick football. That's why I want to avoid. Yeah, that's why I really like to avoid. But we're gonna test the same thing against Man City again. Yeah, score one more. How are you, man? So we're in this whole low block challenge. All we're gonna do is play low blocks now. We're not playing any high pressing tactic. Okay, so we got all these players in. We got Kudus, Inks is target forward. We're gonna play Susek, Bowen, Paqueta, Emerson Obona. Okay, alright, let's go. Playing advanced forward. Then neither one of them is really good as a target forward anyway. Low block against Man City, correct. The ultimate suicide attempt. This is like taking a swan dive off a cliff, man. We're asking for so much trouble against City. Drop it. Yeah, I'm playing a high defensive line. Yeah, but we want the fullbacks to get high up the pitch, and we were gonna take, and there'll be a lot of direct passes into the space. Because because I've already done the low defensive line, low block systems, right? That's with Manchester, with Everton, I did that. I played like low defensive line, low blocks. Those were hoofball tactics because I would have like 4 attack duties and the rest all defend. This is different. This is a you can call it an attacking system because I want the back line to participate. So we are all dropping very deep when we defend, but we have to get up the pitch to attack. So it's still an attacking system, but we defend very deep. But your defensive line is affected by your... So you see what I mean? So they actually have to drop quite deep. Yeah. And then when they attack, they all have to, work their socks off. So we are still a threat. Everything is to feed, you know. I'm not feeling well. I'm falling sick. I was caught in a storm yesterday, so I got wet in the storm. So that storm did, and I was sweating before that. So can you imagine? I was full blown sweat. I mean, I was sweating so much. I literally had my shirt stick to my body, and then after that, I got caught in a thunderstorm. It just came from nowhere. I'm sick because of low block. The low block is making me even more sick. Yeah, low block is making me nervous, man. I can't do this, man. This is one reason why I don't do low blocks. Yeah. I don't mind playing them for like 15 minutes of a game just to see out the match. Yeah, but I do a low block for 90 minutes of a stream, 5-10 games in a row. It's painful. So far, holding our own. But we haven't created, I mean, they haven't got so many great chances, but it's only a matter of time. Okay, I'm going to do something different. So we're not going to higher defense. We're not going to go standard defensive line. That's as far as I'm willing to go now. The step up more is going to be taken out. So I'm not going to try and play the offside trap. So my backline doesn't really shift into a gear to support play. There'll be a gap between the midfield and the defense, the last line. No? Susek does well. And Kudus. Kudus on his own. What can you do, right? That's not too bad. We have had 1 or 2 shots, but oh, Yake is off. We have an extra man advantage, you know. Oh my goodness. This when they might get really strong. Queta in would work. Oh my goodness. Zielinski. Knowing my luck, I like to play our defense. As a counter-attacking, when I play deep, I always love to play our defense. I will want them to attack me so that they come and press me so that they leave space behind. I always do that. Balls of steel. Okay, Cresswell. Wait, Bowen, no. We are going to bring Ben Johnson, put him here. Michael Antonio to play for him. And Cresswell to play here. I don't believe it. They scored a goal from a corner. Areola, the goalkeeper, screwed up. We played so well, no. Is mid block more daily strategy compared to low block? No. I mean, it's up to you how you want to play. You can play any block anytime in the game. Yeah. I will play, but I mean, like, the whole stream is to show people how to play a low block. No? I don't believe it. We didn't play badly, you know. Yeah, our team just collapsed. Man City. It's stupid the way that we failed to take advantage of the red card. Quite disappointing. So it was okay, but I still think we're gonna do this. No, yeah. Isak is gone to Liverpool already. Is it official or not? Nah lah, Liverpool. The thing is, I don't mind Liverpool letting Luis Diaz go. I want it quite okay. No, Liverpool can definitely jig that team around. Floribus is definitely going to be in the middle. If then Isak goes up, there'll be quite a lot of competition for places. Cody Gakpo looks like he's playing on the left permanently now. I wish that Liverpool would sign a defender or a DM. But defender, Joe Gomez is injured. And Tyler Morton doesn't look like he can play into that system. He early cross this. Oh, yeah, counter press. I don't regroup. I want to counter press. So you know, it's a low block counter pressing system. Let's go high up the pitch. I don't think Liverpool have a lot of money. Low block counter press, correct. We drop very deep, but then we attack. Because counter press is when you have possession of the ball. You don't have to worry about counter press when you don't have the ball, man. It's about extracting the maximum amount of possession I can when I have the ball. That's the reason why I counter press. Counter press is basically help you with possession. Same like focus play. Focus play helps you with possession also. Yeah, so those are the two main instructions you need for a possession-based style of football. So while I'm sitting back in a low block, I still want to have possession of the ball. So when I attack teams, points to the spot, baby. So instead of like, if I play with all attack duties, right, then my game is very one-dimensional also. That's one of the reasons why they want to play all attack duties. Then it becomes very one-dimensional. Here, with this, knowing Bowen cuts inside, then having him on support is quite interesting. We definitely have an outlet. Oh, nice. Come on. Oi! Son Heung-min got inside. They managed to pass the ball right through our gaps. Now, Bowen is still in position, but you see, look at that, man. That's because the much higher defensive line overlaps. So the zones are overlapping. So the players all reacting together. Oh, should have been a goal from Paqueta. It should have been a goal, eh? Whiplash happy. Son Heung-min scored. West Ham 1, Spurs 1. A low block counter pressing system now. Okay. Gonna make a three-way. Who's Crossley? Mallinson. Where is my normal substitutes, man? I don't recognize any of these guys. Only Michael Antonio. Where's Joseph Anang? Who the hell are you, man? Crossley, Mallinson. Where did you come from? Thomas Susek, you coming from Calvin Phillips. Oh my goodness. I don't recognize some of the players. Apparently, boys are tired. They can't make the game. Good save. West Ham 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. The low block counter pressing system. I don't know lah. I don't think Alexander Isak is coming to Liverpool. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, Liverpool signed Mark Guehi. And Federico Valverde. You never know. Players are losing the ball in midfield. Good work from Paqueta. He comes back to win the ball. Sean Ward-Prowse decides to, for some reason, Sean Ward-Prowse decides to give up a goal. That's it. We're not playing him anymore. What an idiot. That's Sean Ward-Prowse's fault. Liverpool are selling Chiesa, Nunez, Elliott, and Diaz. Yeah, definitely. How was FM26 when you were in the UK? I don't know, man. I think FM26 was doing quite well. I don't know how they were doing. I didn't get a chance to check on the well-being on FM26. But if the FM26 is a person, then I guess he was having a good time too, lah. Bowen does well. It's in the area. It's shower Bruce. Okay, look, I like this system, no? This is a decent low block, but you gotta have the players for it. Yeah, we have done quite well, no? This low block, the 4-4-1-1. I mean, we're not smashing teams away, but we just don't have the bench for this low block. Every time I want to go to the bench, somebody's injured. Eh? We don't have enough players for this. So far, this low block is also quite nice. Yeah. So we settled on low blocks, huh? Diaz is gone. There's no way Diaz is going to be around. Diaz is gone. He's out. He's no longer a Liverpool player. I mean, Diaz has wanted to leave, he's been wanting to leave for a while. Basically, he wants a lot more money as well. Liverpool aren't about to break the bank. It's the reason why they are. They're not about to break the bank for him. Yeah, a 4-4-1-1 is way better than a 4-2-3-1 low block. So if I wanted to play a low block, right, my contenders are all the 4-4-2, 4-4-2 DM, and the 4-4-1-1. These are the three very good low block systems. And then I suspect this is the final one, the 5-2-2-1. I think here we're not going to play our defense. We are definitely not playing our defense. I got no. Liverpool are just too fast a strike force. I just rather hit and hope. Nice. Oh, we broke down their attack quite well. Nice. Again, Kudus is chasing everybody. Mavropanos looking for Sean Prowse. So we got target forward in front and two shadow strikers. It's our three-man strike force, depending on them only. Mavropanos. Oi! West Ham has taken the lead against Liverpool. With their low block, 5-2-2-1. So with a 5-2-2-1, we have to use counter press because the thing is so bottom heavy, right? If we lose the ball, when we have possession, we're actually quite high up the pitch. We might as well try and win the ball back. Otherwise, we have to track back too far. The players are track back too far to get back into position. Because the wing backs will be here and here. So you're asking them to run all the way back. Might as well just, they got 4 in the area already. I don't think we're going to win this game. The very fact that we got 1 goal lead, that makes me very happy. Anyway, on key highlights, let's leave it there. DLP, DM, wing back. Liverpool looking for a way back into this game. West Ham have had 2 shots on target. Liverpool have only had 1 shot on target. The 4-3-3 low block, I'm going to avoid it for now. Yeah. Like I said, any tactic that gives up the flanks, right? I will avoid it. Because a 4-3-3 is going to give up the flanks. I noticed that, but it's just that a 4-2-3-1 is giving up the flanks. So I think that while you want the opposition to play down the flanks, you want to make it harder for them. This, while it does give up the flanks, the advantage is it's got these 2 here that can put a lot of pressure on their build-out patterns for their DMs. Aaron Cresswell come in here. And then Michael Antonio is there. Ben Johnson, is it? Okay, put Ben Johnson for Michael Antonio, who for some reason has become a wingback. because I was an idiot. I didn't notice that. And then Calvin Phillips to the 6.9. We'll leave him there. Danny Ings will come on as the Muhammad Kudus replacement. Paqueta will come on for the James Ward-Prowse replacement. Now we got two fit fellas here. So I mean, two fit fellas here and two fit fellas here. Hopefully that's enough. Liverpool with a free kick and field. Aye, come on, man, ref. What an idiot. Terrible ref, bro. Give us a free kick. Look at that, man. Endo scoring, saving their heights, man. Endo saving their heights. And they got a corner. They'll score a goal from the corner. Knowing how the game loves reputation. Well, we took the lead and Liverpool did a set piece to score the goal. I would say that this is a success. We went to Anfield, we had the lead, and we managed to. I mean, we are still in a respectable position. For me, the problem is this: like, if I play any tactic which is like a flat four, right? Flat four. This is not so bad because it's got wing backs are here. So I play a flat four like that. I give this one away and I put it here. Then I got problem on the two flanks. And even though I have three in the middle, no real point. I'm looking for the optimum low block systems. So this is one. This is two. This is three. So far we got the best low block systems. Low block 4-4-2. Low block 4-4-1-1. Low block 5-2-2-1. I know the other low. There's one more tactic that's a very good low block. It's a 4-1-3-2. Then I've done that already as a low block for you guys. No point revisiting that. Well, just do it now. Then we can, from that 4-1-3-2, we can make a few more. Okay, so let's go and load. I don't know whether it's still here or not, the 4-1-3-2. 4-1-3-2, where are you? But the problem with the 4-1-3-2 is a cross-heavy tactic. 4-1-3-2, where are you there? I think we'll use this as a base. I don't know if I got any more. We'll do that one first. 4-1-3-2. Why not like this? The problem with this is a low block system is this combination. Carrillo. Will turn into like a target for one support for this team. This team doesn't have a player that can play that position. Okay. All right, let's go. The other problem I have is we need a lot of players for this tactic. Hey, Shaw, how are you, man? The next low block is going to be the 4-1-3-2 low block. Tactic. Narrow, focus play. We're gonna do mix. Tempo won't be so high. We need the guys to get up the pitch, right? And the low block dream continues. We are playing low block tactics, all low block tactics. We lost 3 games. We drawn 3 matches. We started off really well. Lost the first game, then won this group here. Then after that, we were experimenting in different 4-2-3-1 became a failure. Then we did a 5-2-1-2. That didn't turn out too well. Then we played a 5-2-2-1, and that's when we got a result here. Then we played the 4-4-1-1, and that was not too bad. We met Man City, we lost 2-0, and we drew against Spurs and we drew against Liverpool. And we were leading against both teams, except for City. We actually had them down to 10 men, but we don't have a deep enough a bench. And we play low block systems, you better have a bench. We don't have a bench. That's a problem. It's the other problem we have. Antonio with Bowen will play Ings. Okay. Aaron Cresswell. Okay, we'll play with 2 IFBs instead of playing with fullbacks. We want to play. We just keeping these guys back as far as possible. So this could just be a pass into space from the get-go. Let's look at comprehensive highlights. Okay, Antonio wins the ball. Paqueta, Antonio goes back to Ogbonna. Emerson down wide, inverted fullback on defense. Does well. Best, yeah. Man City, no problem playing low block. Your team is so good at keeping the ball. So I like this low block because we're going to have the Carreros on both sides supporting the inverted fullback when he gets out the pitch. But I still need a one-man strike force. Yeah. Safe low block, I guess. I did this in a PvP game. I won the game. I played against someone in a PvP match, playing a low block 4-1-3-2. He didn't realize I was playing a low block. He thought I was square attacking. Actually, I was playing a low block and much higher defensive line. Same thing. Almost the same thing. Like this. That was playing a cautious mentality as well. So he kept attacking me and I scored goals always. I just always scored goals on a counter. So again, we're just making all kinds of funky low blocks. So this is like a 4-1-3-2 low block that just basically hoops the ball up to this combination in front. Oh, wow, offside. Am I got offside? Step up more. Okay. I'm telling you the other day, this guy got target for attack. 3-way. Don't just release one fellow. The only thing is the DM. I don't think we'll play a DM. The AP on attack is not a bad idea. Nice ball. Oh! Offside. Okay, it was one of those set pieces. Trip pressing for, say it out loudly with his combination for his low block. Phil Shaw, how's work? Been very busy. That's good news, right? But I'm very glad to see you on the stream, man, Phil. Kudus finds Paqueta. He finds Ings. Oi! Ings squared the ball and the other guy couldn't finish it. All over this team now. West Ham's low block, 4-1-3-2. Oh, and they've taken the lead. So this is the other low block I like, the 4-1-3-2. This I've used competitively against other players. It's very annoying system to play. Especially if you got strikers, if you got strong players in the air. And then what you can do is you can turn these 2 guys into your outlet. The guy in the middle, if the attack pattern is the one that's going to be creating most of your goals. So we can also play this guy like this, APA. I want to play make on it. We got a focal point. So the Carrello sometimes can't cross the ball. They play bad with the AP. We need a team for it. So you're always looking at the CM being a dribbler, passing vision decisions kind of player. When I was in London, FM26 did not have a fever like me. So far, so good. Bournemouth haven't had much of a chance of breaking us down, even though we literally giving them the flanks. All our tactics are the same. Shunt them to the flanks. Hey, Matty, how are you, man? The low block. This is the low block extravaganza stream. Okay, see this Kudus, right? AP attack, not playing well. Ever since we turned him into AP, he's playing like shit. Okay, so we go back to CM on attack. He cannot play that role. I think CM on attack is the other fella coming in is not so. Oh, that Kudus loves playing like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, what Pras looking for options? Nobody is going there. No, not a inverted fullback comes in. What a move! See, that's why I like inverted fullbacks. They're very safe roles, man. They get up the pitch, but they're great for defensive systems. Oh, what a ball! I just don't have pace on our strikers. If you have pace on our strikers, Danny Ings was true. That was a whip cross. But our player just didn't have the legs on him to get to the ball in time. Okay, so I think we're going to bring on Jared Bowen for Antonio. Okay. I don't think you're any use right now. Okay, Antonio is just no brains. Yeah, low block is a fantastic strategy, provided you know how to set it up. Yeah. Most of the people I know, I mean, I for one, when I play low block, it's more to do with when I play a low block, it's defensive strategy. And I'll score on the break, but I'll have certain formations that I prefer to use. Like I discovered the low block was really viable when I started playing the 4-4-2. The 4-1-3-2, the 4-4-2, all very nice as low block systems. The 4-1-3-2 has been a good low block system since FM22. Oh, Sean, we keep getting in. Bournemouth haven't not been able to do much. The only thing is right now I cannot change my midfielders. That's the only problem with this system. Because once your midfielders become tired, your game is over. You better have substitutes to the Carrellos. So far, so good. I think we are looking at Kufal. Alvarez will come on here. Presso will come on here. Ben Johnson will come on here. Suset will come on here. Okay. Nice. Come on. Defend it. Nice. Ah! Idea is there. Danny Ings again. Not exactly the fastest player anymore. Yeah. Okay, I know right, not there. It's gonna help now. Sorry, the other way around. So West Ham playing Bournemouth, okay. Another low block success story. The thing is, low block is successful when you limit the opposition opportunities at your own goal, while also making sure that you have something to offer in terms of an attack. So we have been able to limit all the opposition to like very low XG chances. And nearly every single goal that we've conceded has been a set piece. And most of the team's chances come from like them putting the ball in for a cross, right? Defended. Okay, wait, let me just save this. Let me save this. Low block. Oh, 132. I was toying with the idea of a DLP low block or register low block. But this is nice. Look at that. One shot on target. They had 9 shots, but only 1 shot on target. And they're playing a 4-2-3-1, which by all means, to all intents and purposes, this system should definitely give us trouble. But no, we played well. Our top players were the defenders, man. The block, and they set up how long? Basically, yeah, that's just a zone, This is just your zone of compression. There's a zone. It just tells you the team to be very compressed in your own. But when you don't forget, this just tells you how far away from goal is your threshold gonna be. The much lower means you're literally defending in front of your goal. Okay. Higher means I'm probably defending outside my penalty area, but near the 25-yard line. Get around here somewhere. Much higher means you're probably defending slightly halfway between the halfway between here and your goal. So that's your zone. So but then this block telling you which third you're starting your defending in. So there are only 3 blocks, right? Lower third, middle third, and final third. That's it. So this tells them we're defending in our third. The question is, this defensive line just squeezes that third. And you want to squeeze it even more, step up more, squeezes it even more. So it becomes flat. And in the end, this defensive line, the higher defensive line, is basically how high up the pitch do you want your players to support play. So if your defensive line is very low, you don't expect there'll be gaps between your defenders in the midfield. Here, I'm making sure that no gaps. When we attack as a group. The problem becomes your players get tired. When do you play regroup and when do you play counter press? Because these two are quite very important to know. Like if I were to play regroup, chances are it's like this, because then I have players, like I know that they don't have to go very far. But if I play like a back 5, a 3, like the 5-2-2-1, for example, there's no point. Because I'm top here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 3 guys here. Then I got the wing backs who will be affected by the regroup. And I got the midfielders affected by that. So a lot of players are affected. So in that case, I'll just counter press. Here, you can regroup because these 4 just drop back, and then these 4 will already be in a defensive position, but we're getting these 4 to drop back. So a lot of time you got to decide about your counter press. You definitely fast defenders for a high defensive line. So if you want, the thing is, most people when they play low blocks, right, the mistake everybody seems to make with a low block is the defensive line, because a lot of people just go, oh, I have to play a low block means I have to play a low defensive line. And that is the problem why all these blocks actually fail. The lower your defensive line, the more negative your football is going to be. The higher your defensive line, the more positive your football is going to be. It's got nothing to do with your mentality. It's got to do with support. So when you play a low block, If you want your backline to support play, you want there to be more support for your midfield, then your defensive line cannot be low. It's got to be standard at least. Yeah. The higher your defensive line, the more you compress that zone, right? So basically what will happen is if you're compressing the zone, you're just squeezing the space up. So you become vulnerable to the direct ball, the pass into space. So it becomes even more vital that you keep the ball. So there's a reason why just now sometimes when I was playing the game, I was want to put two wingers on attack on the same flank unless it was like 10 minutes to win the game. Right? That's the only time I'm waiting to do it. Especially for like tactics like the 4-1-1 or the 4-4-2. These are systems where I don't want to release both of them because it's too risky. Because my primary purpose of a low block is to defend. See, this is why when I create low block tactics, right? I play them during the game for like 10 to 15 minutes just to get a breather. I want to defend. Sometimes I do that. I remember playing one Champions League final where I did a low block for 60 minutes, 60 to 70 minutes. Then when I brought my substitutes, that's when I released my team. I attacked. Because I knew that the opposition were tired, they used their best players and they substituted their players, and I went on the attack after that. So for the last 20 minutes, I was just attacking the team and I won the game. But I played really shitty football for the 70 minutes. So when you play the low block, it's a strategy that you can employ. But do you play the low block for 90 minutes? I don't advise anyone to play the low block for 90 minutes. It's just too damn risky. It's scary. If you can do it for 90 minutes, kudos to you, man. You got nerves of steel I don't have. I don't think many people have nerves of steel. I definitely don't have nerves of steel. But I think that if you do, then kudos to you, man. You're a legend. Respect. It's risky to play low defensive line. Also need smart players. Higher line, you can get away with physical players to make a natural progress. I mean, no, actually, okay. I think it's even more riskier. It's riskier to play much higher defensive line because it's easy for you to get opened up. When you play a low defensive line, you're basically telling your team not to push to start their defending. You're telling them to start their defending closer to your own goal. So whether you have you need physically very, very solid players to play the low defensive line. Because you are exclusively defending. So if you don't have physically solid players, right, like great at jumping reach, strong, aggressive players, right, they have no business playing a low defensive line. Because you don't want to attack. You just want to sit back. It's like the very, very defensive football. So I think that if you're going to play low defensive line, low block, right, you better have very good players for defenders. I'd rather play a higher defensive line. So I can attack. See, when I play a high defensive line, it's because I want to score goals. Not because I want to defend. I want to score goals. But when I lose the ball, I want everybody to defend very deep. That's the difference here. So it's the way I think about it is, when I lose the ball, everybody drop into your third. I don't care who you are, you just drop. And so you notice everybody is behind the ball. Whereas if you play with a high block, you're defending in the opponent's third. Now, if they get past those players, the only time your wingers will get back is if the ball has reached your half. And your defenders are back in position. Then, you hope that you can somebody buys you, die sometime. When do you think you can play with a lower defensive line combined with high block? Low defensive line, high block, 4-4. So if you wanted to play a low defensive line and a high block, right, it means that you're defending high up the pitch. So you're using your, tactics like my Joey Go Smash is low defensive line, high block. There's a tactic I use with low defensive line because it's top heavy. So I have like a 4-1-4-1. Like a 4-2-4 is perfect for a low defensive line, high block. Because you have all the guys in front to do your pressing. They get past, then, your defense line doesn't move very up the pitch. They are forced to, launch the ball. So If you want to play a low defensive line, high block, then you're doing it with top heavy systems like a 4-2-3-1, a 4-2-4, or 4-1-4-4. 4-1-4-1-1-4. 4-1. 4-1. 4-1. 4-1-4-1, 4-1-1-4. Correct? What's wrong with me today? So there is a place for a low defensive line, high block by top heavy systems. So you want to play a high defensive line, low block, you do it with more. There are more tactics that you can do it with, and they're more balanced. They're more built for defending because you can play the players like a 4-1-3-2, 5-2-2-1, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1. These are all beautiful systems that can play high defensive line, low block. Do you think a 4-2-3-1 low block could work, or do you need more players? No, I think a 4-2-3-1 has to be played with a high block and a low defensive line. But you cannot do it with a low block and high defensive line. Because 4 of your players are not going to help you defend. So you might as well just play a high block, low defensive line. So your back line doesn't push through high. So you're 4, right? So what happens is your back 4 and your DM, they stay well back. But your 4 in front are the ones doing all the hard work pressing. So they put a lot of pressure on the goal. And then they force them to clear the ball. And that's when you win looking for the second ball. Yeah. So that's how I would set it up. All right, guys. It's time now to call the show. We will continue this tomorrow. Our low defensive line challenge will continue to... I mean, for today, it wasn't too bad. We lost 3 games. But we won the rest. So in terms of the table, we're 7th on the table. They won 6 games. They beaten Bournemouth, Chelsea, Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton, and Fulham. We drew 3 times. We drew to Liverpool, Spurs, and Sheffield United. And we lost 3 times. We lost to City, Forest, and Burnley. But that was while we were figuring out the mechanics and the formula. So now that we've got the formula down, we have the formula down already. Now we know what we're doing. Top heavy systems. Low defensive line, high block. Neutral to bottom heavy systems is going to be we can play high defensive line, low block. That's it. That's all. It's a simple formula for us to learn. So I thank everybody for coming for today's show. I shall see you tomorrow. More of the same. Provided I don't fall sick, because I already can tell I'm falling sick. I think I got a fever, man. I think I have a fever. Coming out with a fever. I need whiskey. I need some kind of medication, and I think Glenlivet single malt will do it for me. And I have a bottle of it downstairs. Because whenever I drink Glenlivet, the single malt, it tastes like medicine. It does taste like medicine. So all I gotta do is just warm it up, a shot of that, and I shall be fine. Or then I'll drink a glass of red wine. But then who does that? Who does a glass of red wine anyway? You guys stay safe. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. God willing. Good night. Bye-bye. I love all of you. I thought I had fun doing these low block tactics, man. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves.